people who do not understand what these issues are. And I am saying this on the advice of clinicians. I'm saying this on the advice of academics. There are clinicians from the Tavistock who have been whistleblowing, talking about what these issues are. The honourable man tells me that he is traumatized. We are traumatized by what is happening to young children, and we are not going to run away from this issue any longer.
Ooh, she bringing the heat.
Oh, I love it. I love courage when I see it. UK, Kemi Badenoch. Badenoch. Okay. Badenoch. There's an E here as well. Okay.
Yep. Badenoch.
Okay. You're gonna love this woman. You'll see what I mean in a minute.
Well, Common Sense at a gender ideology hearing in the UK this week, and I am shocked and amazed and also very encouraged.
Common sense. Wow.
Yeah, this is where a leading member of parliament admits that the trans lobby is coming after gay kids, and the government should not be run by lobbyist groups. And further, they should rely on scientific research. What is this crazy talk? This is parliamentary member Kemi Badenoch. She says that the UK government is taking an evidence-based and principled approach on the trans issue. Now, this article on your screen right now is us being warned by trans lobbyists that she is a transphobic woman. This was from last year. They said that she was transphobic because she refused to pass legislation that would ban conversion therapy, which we're going to talk about in a second. And she also met with detransitioner Kira Bell in order to understand how children take hormones really young and can be harmed. We've talked about Kira Bell before. Kira Bell was put on cross-sex hormones, puberty blockers, and had breast removal very young. It was incredibly painful because that hurts and a lot. And then she said, you know, I just was a masculine girl. I just was what we would call a tomboy back in the day. Now, this member of parliament, Kemi Badenoch, she has been bullied over this issue quite a bit by the trans lobby. She DGAF, if you know what I mean, doesn't give a flying fart. She just keeps coming at it from an evidence-based approach. And watch how she was received. Here she is addressing that meeting with Kira Bell.
In May 2021, against official advice, I will stress that officials said you should not have this meeting. I met a young lady called Kira Bell. She was a lesbian who told me the horrific experience that she had in the Tavistock clinic. It was an eye-opening experience. I know that the member for Kirkcaldy and Cowdenbeath talked about transing away the gay in his speech in Westminster Hall debate. We are seeing, I would say, almost an epidemic of young gay children being told that they are trans and being put on a medical pathway for irreversible decisions, and they are regretting it. That is what I'm doing for young LGBT children. I am making sure that young people do not find themselves sterilized because they are being exploited by people who do not understand what these issues are. And I am saying this on the advice of clinicians. I'm saying this on the advice of academics. There are clinicians from the Tavistock who have been whistleblowing, talking about what these issues are. The honourable man tells me that he is traumatized. We are traumatized by what is happening to young children, and we are not going to run away from this issue any longer.
Ooh, she bringing the heat.
Oh, I love it. I love courage when I see it. I love boldness when I see it. I love enthusiasm and passion when I see it. I love when women take the power back. Ladies, I told you are powerful. Okay? You are some powerful creatures. Okay? You make the world a better place when you open your mouth and speak about what these people are doing. There goes your example right there. Be encouraged. That's crazy. Very few can speak that way. Oh boy, yes, she has.
And the one thing that the other side hates more than anything is when you follow the science, but it doesn't line up with their science.
Yes. Yes. They hid the truth, even scientific truth.
They're all about follow the science as long
Yeah.
as it agrees with their narrative.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
The
I am the
science has
science.
to follow our narrative.
Yeah.
No, the science is the
Until it doesn't.
science.
Yeah.
If the science doesn't follow your narrative has to change.
Yes, right. It's still the science. You got to change. Oh man, that was so epic. I could listen to this all day. She's
That
not
was
done.
great.
She got like 3 more videos coming up. Let's keep listening.
So that man who was guffawing, like, no, you're traumatizing me by these words, telling me that a lesbian was hurt, was Member of Parliament Chris Bryant. And I mean, he just was so entitled to say, no, you're wrong about this. Nope, I'm not hearing it. And she's saying, yeah, you're going to keep hearing it because we can't be hurting kids. Now, about conversion therapy, she has rejected laws that would call anybody not affirming someone's gender ideology conversion therapy. So that is, we're talking in so many double negatives here that I just want to be clear. So if Clayton were to tell me I am a woman and I would say, no, you're not, you are a biological man, you're the father of my children, and I'm gonna, let's go talk to people to prove to you that you're a man, he would say, you're trying to do conversion therapy. That's how this is used right now, is that by not accepting my ideology, you're trying to convert me to what I am not. What they're using is old therapy of trying to convert a gay person straight. Clearly, it's not the same thing, right? And so what trans activists want is to say that not affirming gender ideology is conversion. She rejects that, and she thinks that it's unsafe to actually let.
Yeah, by the way, I want to say I have encountered with and some people who went through conversion therapy. I know this is unlawful and yada, yada, yada. I get it. It did work for a lot of people. There were some people who went to harm themselves. Doesn't mean it was conversion therapy's fault. I think the mental health kind of had this reactionary thing to it. But there's been a lot of people who were homosexual, who were gay, and after they went through a conversion therapy with a Christian, and it's been done, and it does prove to work, even though the law is against it. Again, the law is against, I don't know, the devil got a particular, I guess, hatred for gay people for some reason. He just wants to take them down as much as possible. If you're trying to reach these group of people, they put laws in place to stop it from happening. Anyway, I'm just saying is conversion therapy, when it is done right, actually does work and assist a lot of people. There's been a lot of people who's been converted from their either gay lifestyle, whatever it was, lesbian lifestyles, and came out and testified about how effective of a thing it is. So it's good to also hear their story. I've highlighted them on my channel before. So it's good to hear their story. Don't just go around talking about like it's wrong. It's unlawful, doesn't make it wrong. You know. Anyway, I wanted to add that.
She thinks that it's unsafe to actually legislate that way. And here she is addressing that.
The right honourable gentleman asked a question about conversion practices. Can I just give a little bit more clarity about what it is we are doing? This is a longer answer than normal, but I know that this is a matter of deep interest across this House, so I would like to address my thinking fully. A commitment was given to publish a draft conversion practices bill for pre-legislative scrutiny. I am determined to meet this promise, as I know is the Minister for Equalities. Attempts at so-called conversion therapy are abhorrent and are largely already illegal. So what a bill would do is identify this as a particular threat to gay people and confirm the illegality of harmful processes intended to change someone's sexuality. In that time, since this bill was first promised, this issue has developed. Now, the threat to many young gay people is not conversion relating to their sexuality, but conversion relating to gender identity. Girls like Kira Bell, who were rushed onto puberty blockers by the NHS and had a double mastectomy, now regret the irreversible damage done to them. I believe that this is a new form of conversion therapy. Respected clinicians, like those who left Tavistock, have made clear they are fearful of giving honest clinical advice to a child because if they do not automatically affirm and medicalize a child's new gender, they will be labeled transphobic. So whatever bill we do needs to address many of those issues, and that is why we are going to publish a draft bill.
Okay, so you guys, she is
Look what she just did. That was really smart, though, if you think about what she just did. She took the term and gave it a new interpretation. And not just a new interpretation, but a fitting interpretation. Because you were saying we were converting people from being gay to becoming straight. She said, no. You're converting the children who are gay to becoming trans. That was like, oh, got him. And that's exactly what they're doing. And that's why you see like industries and hospitals, they're supporting this nonsense. You can say, I think I'm identified as this. And you go on a Zoom call in a matter of 15 minutes. They're prescribing you puberty blockers and this and that. And yeah, they're transing you. That is crazy. And you are sick for the rest of your life. There are affection that comes with that. And it, like she says, it does hurt. You have to use a dilator if you trans into a woman. Yeah, there's some serious complications. You end up becoming a patient for the rest of your life. You have to consistently be on this med. And I think it's wrong. This is child abuse.
Yeah. It's just abuse, period. I mean, it's the absurdity knows no bounds.
Yeah. None whatsoever. And this is not supposed to be allowed. I'm so against it because it's not even common sense policies anymore.
claiming the term conversion therapy. She's saying it's not conversion therapy to not accept someone's gender ideology. It's conversion therapy to push gender ideology on somebody. So if someone comes to you and they're a lesbian or an effeminate boy who will become a homosexual, and you say, you're not an effeminate boy who will become a homosexual, you are actually a woman, you're a trans woman, and we're going to convert your body into something it will never. And she's saying that's conversion therapy, and they're going to hate her for it, but I applaud it because that is exactly what you're doing, is converting what would otherwise be a totally gay, a healthy gay person. And so this switcheroo is making people's heads spin, but she's done her homework. Further, she rejects this rhetoric saying that no child is born in, that a child is born in the wrong body. Watch.
I thank my right honourable friend for her question, and I certainly support any effort to clarify the law, and we should start from first principles. No child is born in the wrong body, and no child should be put on a pathway towards irreversible medical transition.
Yes, and further, she says she will not be bullied by Stonewall, which is a much discredited charity that is known to push kids right into medicalization of their bodies with any, they show any form of, like, a boy picks up a pink bat. That's it. Put him on the old penis chopper. Now, here's where she says Stonewall doesn't run this country.
And one of the issues that we have is that a lot of people do not understand the law where it comes to self-identification. We are providing clarity there. We have engaged with numerous LGBT groups, but the fact of the matter is that many of them support self-ID. That is not this government's policy. Stonewall does not decide the law in this country. Whatever it is that people want to campaign on, we will listen and we will hear. But we have been very clear about this. We've been very clear about this. And this is something that we are not budging on, and we are updating the law in accordance with government policy, and we will continue to do so.
All right, so she wants evidence-based, and she wants to decide based on democracy, not based on lobbyists. So that is shocking, and she said that. And so I want to applaud her saying that.
She deserves a round of applause from the
you heard all those
community.
Yeah,
you heard all those people going here, here. I like that. Here,
Right.
here,
Yeah.
here.
Now, meanwhile, in the United States, I just want to turn quickly to the Republican debates that happened last night, because that is also an issue that is up for grabs in Republican politics, at least about parental rights and all of that. I hate to see it like just yelled about in a debate after we just saw like such a mature way to present this, but that's where we are right now.
Well, Megyn Kelly, to be fair, Megyn Kelly, she has been vehemently opposed to this. She's been speaking out about it on her show regularly about these trans surgeries and gender affirming care. So she tried to get a question in, I think, around that specific, question, calling up something from Chris Christie's past. When he was governor, basically allowing for this to happen, for parents to go around, schools to basically go around the parents, and these kids could go and get gender affirming surgeries.
Yes, this was not maybe the most academic or evidence-based discussion of it, but at least it's on the table. But mostly it just was a shouting match. I would like to see us move more towards something like this, but we've seen in the United States that trans activists have said that gender affirming care would never pass any kind of study or standards-based tests or any kind of academic research, because there is no proof that gender affirming care resolves gender dysphoria or makes anybody better or less anxious or anybody's body more healthy. There's no research about that. It hurts. It hurts a lot.
And we keep pushing it though.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to me, man. The evidence shows that it doesn't work. Finland, France, I think not Germany. Germany's done lost their mind. But they keep advocating for the same thing that doesn't necessarily work. It's like just abusing the people, man. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
So sad.
A lot, and anxiety and dysphoria persists. So we don't have that discussion yet. We have had hearings about it. We showed you some in the United States yesterday, but here's how it played out, at least on a debate stage. It's a bit wilder.
Here's my follow-up question. You talk about parental rights. Let's talk about them. When you were governor in 2017, you signed a law that required new guidelines for schools dealing with transgender students. Those guidelines required schools to accept a child's preferred gender identity, even if the minor's parents objected.
Not true.
And it said that there is no duty for schools to notify parents if their son or daughter changes their gender identity, allowing this serious issue to remain a secret between the school and a child. How is any of that pro-parental rights?
By the way, that's simply not true.
You're doing what you accuse me of, Chris. It is absolutely true.
That's simply not true. That's simply not true. That law was put into effect in 2018 and regulated in 2018 after I was out of office.
You mandated the guidelines.
No, we did not, Megyn. We did not issue those guidelines, and you're wrong about that. Simply wrong. I have stood up each and every time.
So I think if this is one issue that's disqualifying, it's this one.
I stood up every single time for parents to be able to make the decisions for their minor children.
But parents,
every single time, parents should make those decisions. And by the way, you know what? Every once in a while, parents are going to make decisions that we disagree with. But the minute you start to take those rights away from parents, you don't know that slippery slope, what rights are going to be taken away next, and what's going to be focused on.
As a parent, you do not have the right to abuse your kids. This is cutting off their genitals. This is mutilating these minors. These are irreversible procedures. And this is something that other countries in Europe, like Sweden, once they started doing it, they saw it did incalculable damage. They've shut it down.
Yeah, exactly. So it's child abuse. Why do we have like child protective services then, right? We have laws in place to protect.
I know.
Krispy Kreme is the worst candidate ever.
I don't know.
I don't even know why he's still in the race.
Well, his goal is to go after Trump. He has one mission: go after Trump, protect Nikki.
I was going to say I don't even think it's to go after Trump. I think it's just basically to act as a shield for Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
He's if you watch the debate, he's just basically white knighted the entire time for Nikki Haley.
Yeah, true. He did not criticize her not a single time. He was defending her.
And it's like, really, dude, come on, get a clue.
It's crazy because if people will study, like, we do like adoption, we like, adoption family kind of thing.
Mhm.
We into that system, and we study into the what's happening with child abuse and the intensity of it. Even in church, we have to study it because we don't allow certain people to work with our youth who have not passed the background, who have not gone through the stuff, because it's so bad. A lot of the pedos, they like to go to church to do that because it's just an open door. When you understand the intensity of this stuff and how bad of a thing it is, what these folks have been doing and how bad child abuse has been, you will not even advocate for this trans. This whole trans movement is like an open door for the pedos to come in. Like they have like, it's like a revolving door. They can come in and out as they want.
Yeah.
Through under that notion is, and I'm not blaming all trans people. I'm not saying they don't exist. I believe some people really believe in their minds that they are that. And I think it's mental health. I think it's mental health that you need Christ, you need conversion, you need a new heart. But again, I'm not gonna persecute you for feeling that way. But the thing is, it's just what is opening the door to. Is opening the door to serious child abuse, sexual abuse of minors. We haven't seen nothing yet. Like if we keep pushing this thing, we're gonna come to a point where we're gonna see grown-ups walking around with 6, 5-year-old, sons and daughters walking around, and that's their wives.
That's
We're gonna get to see that generation. It
but
happened in
that's
Rome, by the way.
but that's
It
my
happened in Rome.
that's the thing is we can't be doing this to children. If they want to do this as adults, fine. That's that on them as adults. That's one thing.
Mhm.
But leave the children out of
Out of
this.
it.
It's like
That's all.
Samson said, leave
That's
the
the argument.
children out of it.
That's right.
That's
That's
our
all.
entire point of all of this. Just leave the children out of it.
And but
Let them just grow up to be kids. Let them be kids, for crying out loud.
but they will call you transphobic for that. It's like, to me, it's not transphobic to want to protect children. It's
No.
not. It's
And
not.
by the way,
Come.
Facebook stopped streaming.
Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, we're gonna keep moving.
But
We're having
I
trouble
mean,
with Facebook. Okay, that's fine.
it's just like, I don't know why we can't just let kids be kids,
Mhm.
and let them grow up. Yeah, you're gonna have your girl who ends up being a tomboy sometimes. Sometimes they'll grow out of it, sometimes they won't.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yes.
But eventually, it doesn't, just because they grow up as a tomboy doesn't always mean they turn out to be a lesbian.
Yeah.
I know a lot of girls who are more comfortable with guys than they are with girls because of the fact that, they're just that way. But
Mhm.
yet they have very successful relationships with people of the opposite gender.
Mhm.
So, just let people be,
Mhm.
unless they have an issue where they come to you seeking help and say, look, I think I have an issue. I think I need help.
Mhm.
And then you sit down, you talk to them, you work with them, and find out the root cause. Because most of the time, if you dig through, you're going to find that the reason they are the way they are is because most of them have some history of abuse
Yes.
in their past.
Mhm.
That's why they think they are the way they are.
Yeah. 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 And I think the system has been weaponized against these people. They're taking advantage of their vulnerability and their condition. Because, for example, we went from like 200 trans clinics about 7 years ago to a
Mhm.
point now it's over 5,000. And it's one of the fastest growing industry right now.
And it's the biggest moneymaker.
Yeah, training kids is like a money making business, to the point where there are hospitals that are completely sustained by the finance of training children.
because when you do that, you have
It's an entire industry.
And you have a customer for life.
So sad.
So
sad. Anyway, let's finish the video.
And then you got these other ones that are just complete frauds that just want to be in like women's sports because they're mediocre in men's sports, and dominate women's sports because they think they're better off in women's sports, and then they turn around, come over to women's sports and just dominate everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's the entire premise of Lady Ballers.
You gotta go see that one yet. That's a good movie to watch.
Yeah, we're gonna do a breakdown of that too.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should. Yeah, take out some clips and really go into it. All right, let them finish.
Saw did incalculable damage. They've shut it down.
Yeah, exactly. So it's child abuse. Why do we have like child protective services then, right? We have laws in place to protect children. So you mean to say that you have nothing to do with parents, and if they abuse their children, like, I don't want. He was talking to him. He was conflating different. Yeah, I give parents the right to choose the school they send their kids to. That's different from forcing children to get some sort of a transgender surgery. I mean, that's ridiculous. Go ahead, David.
Well, I was going to say, and now Child Protective Services will take your child if you don't mutilate them.
In California, yes, especially. Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely. All right. Well, let us know what you think of this. Like I said, I was riveted by this MP, and she got herself. Well, I already was following her on Twitter, so maybe you want to do the same. I'm not telling you, but let us know what you think.
Thank you so much for watching this segment.
That was great.
At some point when we do a live stream, we're going to have to do a live stream on the whole state versus state debate.
Okay.
It's
regarding the trans movement?
No, it's not just the trans movement. It's California versus Florida.
Oh, yes. With
they did Ron DeSantis versus Gavin Newsom.
Oh, man.
It was
if you are willing, I don't know what you got going on tomorrow. I'm home. If you are willing, I'm willing to go live and just check it out.
Let's do it. Because I saw part of it with Louder with Crowder.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't let anybody get away with anything. They were like pulling up stats and graphs and all kinds of stuff to like, no, we're fact checking you right on the spot.
That is great. That is great. I love that. That's how it's supposed to be done. Yeah. And Louder with Crowder is so smart though.
And it wasn't Louder with Crowder doing it. Like the debate judge was doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like 9 times out of 10, it was like, no, sorry, Newsom, he's right, you're wrong.
Yeah. I heard Newsom's wife. I heard Newsom's wife had to intervene, and that's kind of why the debate ended, is because he got beat down so bad.